Hello, it's Clinton Gray, and in this video we're going to discuss helmets that I've used, my opinions on them, whether they're suited for off-road or adventure riding or not, and just some general thoughts on helmet selection and what to look for and what not to look. It's not going to be a hugely technical review of helmets, but it is going to give you some indication of what you should be looking at, in my opinion. So let's crack off with a helmet that everybody knows. This is a full frame helmet made by Shark. This is not ideal for off-road. That's not to say you can't use it off-road, but there's a few things that you'd like to be able to get when you, or consider when you're buying a helmet for adventure riding, off-road riding. So first of all, yes, it's a strong helmet. It's a really quality, top-class quality make. It's a relatively quiet helmet. But then again, and on the subject of quiet, guys, when a manufacturer says it's quiet, yeah, it may be quieter, but it's certainly not quiet. So do yourself a favor, invest in some earplugs. Even if they're the cheap DIY foam ones, until you can afford a decent set. And I will do a review on options of earplugs. But guys, while we're considering helmets, do consider using earplugs. All right, so first off, in a helmet, you'd ideally want some sort of sun visor. This helmet doesn't have it as an option, so you would have to change this perspex screen, and ultimately when it gets dark, you're going to have to swap it out. Real pain, so not ideal. So let's get rid of that for the second. Right. Next is a full face helmet. This is made by Arai. These guys are, along with Shui and Arai and Schuberth, some of the very top of helmet manufacturers. That's not to say there aren't other brilliant guys out there, but these are the guys that have been in the game a long time. They know their skill. All right, everybody knows this. This is a traditional MX Enduro type helmet. Okay, you'll notice on this one I have a Scala headset, which allows me to communicate with event organizers when I'm working as a first responder at events or medic, for example. All right, just a word of advice: when you consider buying a headset, check with your mates, see what they're riding with or what manufacturer they use or what make, and get the same thing. There's nothing more frustrating than you think you've got a bargain on buying a headset, and true's Bob, you can't chat to your mates, and you're the oak at the back that's sitting humming to yourself in your helmet while everybody else is having a blast talking to each other, and you're the odd man out. So do yourself a favor, check what your mates are riding with. So what I'd like to do now is discuss the other variation of this. Now that is what is now in a few, come out a while now, is a hybrid between a full motocross / enduro rally helmet and a full face helmet. And that is the adventure helmet. You'll see them about. They have the same peak design with obviously a full face, but they have the screen very similar to a full face helmet. What the guys will generally do for adventure riders considering these helmets, they will carry a spare set of goggles. So when it gets really dusty or there's mist, guys will generally they'll pop their standard goggles underneath that, leave the visor open, and they're in a much more comfortable space. All right, so let's get rid of those two and pop that one over there. Okay, the other helmet, and this is my go-to helmet. This is BMW's flip-up helmet, okay? For a good reason, full face helmet, but the chin pops up. Oh, come on. Swine. Okay, pops up like that, exposing your face. My opinion, you probably only want to do that when you're cruising nice and steadily, not in a rush, or but the moment you start getting on, or the ride starts getting more technical, then I would certainly consider dropping this down, and we'll get to reasons for that. Again, you'll see my Scala headset, again, for reasons of communicating. All right, as we discussed, the one issue with the full face helmet was the option of a drop-down sun visor. Now, BMWs have theirs on the side here, so it's all incorporated into the helmet. Some manufacturers will have a slide on the top of the ridge here, which you'll obviously manually pull forward or reverse. Now, there's an argument between guys that say that slide in the top affects the integrity of the helmet shell. I'm going to leave that to the boffins to argue, but in my opinion, if you can get something that activates from the side, then that's ideal. Okay, something I would say, chaps and ladies, if you're considering buying a helmet like this, is look at the brand. Schubert makes a helmet similar to this, and in fact I think there's a link between BMW and Schubert. The locking mechanism in the cheeks and here, guys, they need to lock down. I've been to several accidents where riders have had these on, and in the course of the accident, this whole piece has been ripped off, leaving your face exposed. Now, that's really not a good place to be in. So if you're going to go down this line, buy from a reputable manufacturer. And just on that, it tends to bug me a bit when guys start saying, well, you know, I don't want to spend 3,500 Rand or $350 or $400 on a helmet. I'd rather spend 1,000 Rand or $100 on a helmet. Guys, look at the value of your life. Skimp on the gloves. Don't buy top of the range gloves. Don't buy top of the range trousers or jacket. You know, rather go for a slightly cheaper there. But when it comes to helmet, buy the best you can afford, because ultimately, what is your head worth? Because if you have a big accident and your head is damaged, you're buggered basically. So that's just my thoughts. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed this tutorial. It's not so much a tutorial, but a discussion about helmets and what I've used and my thoughts. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, go ahead and subscribe, like it and share it to your mates, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.